Up what's football, running clocks, host, Jacob, everything football flag. You're just not going to say, and I'm it. Wow.
That was the worst introduction ever.
It was kind of, look, I'm just trying something new. I'm trying to be a little abstract. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Jacob with Clocks Running podcast for
and I'm Ant.
Oh my! And so you just cut me off. Wow, dude, this is what a start. Jeez.
All right, third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. Go for it.
No. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Clocks Running podcast for everything flag football officials. I'm Jacob,
and I'm Ant.
Okay.
Hey man, so this is crazy because right now we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I think. Ultimately, we won't know until we hit the end button. But we're trying some new things out. Our streaming service. Shout out to StreamYard. They kind of upgraded some things, and so we're gonna give it a shot and see how it works. It looks like we might be able to see comments if you post comments. We'll just see how it goes tonight. But what better night to do it when we're gonna recap everything that was East Coast Nationals this past weekend. So where were we again, Jacob?
We were in. All right, so the closest big city is Ocean City, Maryland. It's technically in Salisbury, Maryland, where we were. Population 60, but hey, it was a great time. It was a really cool time. We gave out some pretty dope bling. I thought we had a pretty good time.
Did you win that in 8 co-ed or
actually 8 contact pro? I was a starting QB / wide receiver / safety for my squad / kick returner. And nice. I got all purpose, so I held it down for my squad.
Okay, I love it. Well, before we bring on our first guest of the night, I just want to give a shout out to a new sponsor we have. Okay, so this guest tonight is sponsored by Dubby Energy. All right, they got kind of like an anime feel to them. I just ordered a tub of their pre-workout. It's tiger blood, like the flavor that you get at like shaved ice kind of thing.
Okay.
What do they call that in North Carolina?
Kona Ice.
Kona Ice. Okay, cool. So I think do they call it
everywhere? But okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my apologies. Anyway, with that sponsorship, we have a promo code that if you want to try any of their products, they got pre-workout, they got hydration stuff. They've got, shakers, they've got t-shirts. You can get 10% off with the promo code through Clocks Running. So just hit us up with that. And without further ado, who we got on coming first up?
Bring in the Lou-meister, Mr. LDL Lance himself, all the way from California. Gotta have some jazz hands.
Oh man, Lance, it's been so long since you've been on the show, bro.
I know the living room looks the exact same. Tell us what's been going on.
Obviously, not much because my living room is exactly the same. Not outside of the living room, not changing too much. Just doing my thing with respect to still playing, still officiating here locally. Had a great time at ECN. It was I'd never been out in that area, so it was kind of interesting just to kind of be out there. But it was fun. Had a good time. Weather was, for the most part, cooperative. I mean, it did rain our first night there, but outside of that, the weather was actually extremely cooperative, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, Lance, from your perspective, what is different about East Coast Nationals from other tournaments?
I don't know about different. I mean, it was just a lot of fun. Ran into a bunch of teams and players that I had seen since Tampa, so we got to catch up a little bit. Got to watch a lot of good ball, both on fives and fours, as well as air it out. So it was fun. I mean, I don't think it's a difference. It's more about like just catching up with a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a while. So it was, a lot of these guys don't come out west. So it was just fun to catch up, talk a little smack, and just watch some good football.
Yeah, speaking of the West Coast, do you think that the organization? What? No, I wasn't even. I have a serious question about the West Coast. Do you think that the organizations out there, whether it be the Bay Area, Southern California, PNW, Las Vegas, do you ever think that they could come together and kind of put together a West Coast Nationals like that?
So we could probably do it. I know Law with United Sports has tried to do that. We've gotten close to 70, 80 teams. I think that was the max. I want to say we tried doing that. It's just really hard, because, for instance, it's hard to plan because we, at least out here in the Bay Area, we don't have facilities like you guys have out in the East. I can't just pull up and have – how many fields do we have? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15?
This past weekend we had, it was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 11. We only had 11.
I don't have any facilities that can do 9, let alone 11.
Yeah.
I could do 6, maybe 8, and that's pushing it. So it's more about – it's not so much the to me, from what I've seen, it's not so much organization or trying to get it together. It's more about location. And if we do find a location, it's out in the boonies. So, to be honest with you, with ECN, only the major airport was either Baltimore or Norfolk, right? The small airport was commuter airport, and those always charge more. So that's the challenge that we face out here.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, California is such a giant state that, I mean, if you're in Southern California, you're talking about an 8-hour plus trip, without the traffic involved to try to get up north. Maybe PNW would be an easier trek down to the Bay. But yeah, I think probably the space is in Vegas is where all the field space is. And I mean, I think there's already enough tournaments in Vegas going on. Jacob, how do you, you're one of the organizations involved in East Coast Nationals. How do you guys pull it off every year, getting everyone together like this?
Well, I think it's from the top down. Shout out to Craig Mims and Mike Holmes. They were the ones who kind of founded this tournament. They're the organizers who said, you know what, let's branch out. Let's start working with other organizations. And it really, I mean, I've always said this, and I'll continue to say it. When it comes to having league directors, typically your typical league director is a type A person. And to get many type A people to work together for a common goal does not always work. But working with this group, everybody puts all their personal aside, trying to do the best they can. And ultimately we all have we're all like-minded individuals. The goal is to have a successful quality tournament. And I think that's what carries us through.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I think it's amazing because just my experiences, and just to be clear, Lance, Southern California, my experiences in Southern California, organizations had a really hard time getting together, agreeing on rules, being able to put aside the drama and the politics that come with flag football and pull off even I think one time there was a couple that came together for a flag face-off. And literally every round, they were using different rules every round because they couldn't even agree on the same rule book.
For a day, that's wild.
Yeah, so it's just that kind of situation where it's I understand that you guys have these tweaks and you want to do things this way, but come together and just use the same rule book at the bare minimum at least. But even with that, it was the same situation. They could only take so many teams. So basically, the way they did it is they had like each organization created an all-star team to play in it, and so there was one from each organization, and that was kind of a flag face-off or whatever. So definitely not on the scale of this. But yeah, same with me. It was a lot of fun. Lance, how many ECNs have you been to?
It's my third. I want to say third one, right? Yeah, it's my
third
third
or
one.
fourth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything different? Yeah, anything different over the years that you've noticed? Changes, improvements?
It's the first one that I didn't see any police.
Nice.
Little victories.
I was like, yeah, we didn't have any cops rolling in twice in an hour.
Yeah.
Seriously, it was very calm. It made the day so much, and I know from Jacob's perspective, less stressed.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we got through the games, we got through the day, we ended on time, and no major issues in terms of folks doing stupid things. So that was for the better.
Yep.
Yeah, I know a lot of people complain about having to pay like spectator fees and having their bags checked at the front and things like that, but maybe that is starting to kind of get rid of the random riffraff and the extracurricular stuff that causes so many issues. I don't know. What do you think, Jacob?
No, I think it's you're starting to see. I think some of the problems are starting to phase out. You still have some folks who are just going to be knuckleheads, and that's fine. I enjoy those folks. They give me something to do during the day. However, I think for the most part, people are starting to kind of figure out who's there to compete, who's there to play football, or who's there to argue. And even the ones that we know are there to just argue, we know how to manage them. So that way we can continue on with the tournament. And as long as you, as organizers and as an official, as long as you're keeping through with the games and keeping things moving and keeping your foot on the gas, you're gonna have success. It's just a matter of just powering through some of the knuckleheads. And also, we had a really damn good crew this weekend. We had a really damn good crew this past weekend. And that makes everything that much better. When you're not having to answer, how many downs is it in, 2-man air it out. It makes the day go smoother when there's actual questions that come up, when there's actual things like that, make all of us put our thinking caps on. Sure, that's great. But when it's the little things that you're stopping the game and spending 15 minutes on arguing about, hey, co-ed has 4 downs. No, they really have 6. No, it's silly things like that slow tournaments down. So I gotta tip my hat to all the officials. Both of you guys did great. I think we had a really great crew this past weekend.
Yeah, speaking of kind of head thinkers or whatever, head scratchers. What did you just say?
I said, put your thinking cap on.
Oh, thinking cap.
Oh, Lance, this is your friend.
The thinking cap scenario.
He's
Lance,
on your side of the coast now, so yeah. I don't claim him.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's funny we don't claim it when it's convenient.
Hey, listen, man. There's good there's good and bad about Ohio situations. That's for sure.
All right, my thinking cap is on. What do I need my thinking? No,
I'm not even talking to you right now, Jacob. Lance, was there any thinking cap situations that came up this past weekend?
I think the only one, and this is because situationally, it's always been a gray area, and we went back and forth last year, and then we kind of finalized it. But I hadn't done co-ed in a while. Was because girl intercepted it off in co-ed, and I said it was 6, and it was 9. I mean, it was one of those things. Both the team that caught the interception, which was Supreme, Brandon said, "I'm pretty sure it's 9, but it's no big deal." Under his breath, he says, "We're going to blow them out, so it's no big deal." But that was like literally the only thing, at least on my field, of all 25 plus games that I had, that kind of was like, I hadn't done this in a while. So it's like one of those things that you forget. And what people don't realize is because we've got 7 different formats that we could potentially be doing in a 2-day span. Yes, we forget. We are human. And, when I explained, it's, for air it out, it was co-ed air it out. And I told him, I go, it's 4 downs. Oh, it is? And like, yes, it's 4 downs. I'm telling, I forget which player. And you get 3 timeouts. Oh, we do? Like, and you wonder why I have a headache. So,
right.
Right. But at the end of the day, to Jacob's point, that was literally, at least from my recollection, the only issue that I had. Everything else was pretty smooth. Everyone knew what they were doing. Everyone was playing and doing what they should be doing. So I had no qualms.
Was there, whether it was you officiating or games that you were able to watch, when you weren't officiating, was there a specific championship that stuck out to you that you thought was a great game, great competition?
Co-ed championship was fun. That was Supreme and Mob something. I forgot what their team is. Face Mob. That was a good game. I thought that was probably the best game that I officiated all weekend. Face Mob went up. Supreme looked ragged in the first couple of drives, so Face Mob was up going into halftime, and then Supreme turned it on. So it was actually a really good game.
What was the difference maker? They were able to get the women more involved, or talk management. What was it?
I think they just played football versus dicking around. It was one of those things where like, all right, we got to go play football. When you're in that situation, you're down, clock's not on your side. You just got to like figure it out as fast as you can, flip the switch as a team, and then just go.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So Lance, what do you got coming up on the horizon, whether it's locally or travel stuff? What's next for you?
So travel wise, I'm actually going to be, this week, this weekend, nothing going on. Next week, I will be down in SoCal for USA Football. They're doing their International Cup, their Junior International Cup and Select Bowl. So it's a 3-day event, whole host of teams, a lot of international flavor. So should be fun. Team USA will be there. And, always looking forward to catching up with those guys, as well as Mexico, Canada, Australia, someone from Europe, I forget, and Japan.
Germany, Israel.
Yeah, Germany. Yeah, and Israel. Thank you. Yeah, so kind of curious on those teams because I hadn't seen Germany play. So I'm kind of curious, and as well as Australia.
Yeah, that's cool. And then as far as Bay Area stuff, what's happening over there? Any new leagues or any changes that Dula or Law have picked up recently?
So it's kind of funny that there's a new league that starts tonight. It's a co-ed circuit league where the teams have been created, but every week is a different QB. So it's a co-ed league draft where you just got drafted. So we're all on the same team, but every week is a different QB. I have no idea who my QB is. So I have no idea. So part of me is like, okay, great. So you have 2 games to figure it out before playoffs, right? So you got to figure it out how to play with that QB. That's the neat thing with this is that in a completely draft tournament-ish style, you don't know who you have as a QB. I think I know who it is based on week 1, but if we do this for week 2, I have no idea. So be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So each week you guys play a tournament, or is it just like regularly scheduled games?
It's tournament style.
Okay.
So
how many teams are there?
6.
Okay.
So it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then in 2 weeks, this is for you, Jacob, if you were here. Dula's got this over 30 versus under 30 tournament.
Nice.
Just on the cusp to make the over 30
It's
team.
basically he's got 4 teams that are over 30. I think it's 4 teams. 4 teams over 30, 4 teams under 30. They play. All the unders are playing the overs, right? So then winner takes all type of thing.
Nice.
It's kind of interesting.
I like it.
Yeah.
So
No, go
he's
ahead.
just trying to be creative, which I get. I think that's really interesting. That's an interesting way. Oh, one more thing. I wanted to give a shout out to Nancy. So on Saturday we were at ECN. So Bay Area Panthers is an indoor league. Indoor is a team for indoor arena football. Her league, Bay Area Women's League, got recognized by the Panthers. And she got to, I don't know if anyone's seen her on her story. She got to actually she was an honorary captain, and she got to do the coin flip.
Nice. We were roommates this weekend, and you didn't mention that.
I totally forgot.
Jeez, dude.
So she's got I think it's one of those things where every time we have the opportunity to promote the sport in it itself, especially, and then we can focus that on the women's side, highlight that as much as possible. So I thought that was very cool. And the funny thing is no one referred her. Like their PR person did basically a Google search of women's flag football. And her site came up. Yep.
Cool.
So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and what's her organization called?
Bay Area Women's League. Ball.
Okay.
But Bay Area Women's
League.
League.
Get it? Because it's football, and it's acronym from ball.
Ball.
Do you get it?
Oh. Okay. All right. Fair enough. And it's been around for a few years now, right?
Baseball.
Yeah, it's been around. Yeah, we just had our Wednesday night league start up last night. So.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's awesome. What Dula's always cooking up creative things. I know he did. What was it, like a 200, 250 plus or something tournament at one point?
Yeah, that's coming back. Someone was asking about the 200-pound draft tournament. That's coming back later this summer. So yeah, that's coming back. You should come out for that, Jacob.
Whoa, wait a minute. We'll go out for it.
No, that's awesome. Definitely shout out to all the league owners out there, Dula and Law and Nancy and what's the other one? Loyal to the Game, right? Danny. Yeah. So I do appreciate everything the Bay Area does. I think they, like I said, they all come together. They have great tournaments. As the kids say, it's a vibe. I just think but anyway, Lance, just anything else you want to talk about as far as ECN before we let you go?
ECN was fun. Again, the weather was great. It was great to catch up. Worked with some great people, Eric, Sonia, and was fun to work with. So it was just a good time. And again, comparatively to San Antonio, where we almost died, it was great.
What do you mean almost died? It's only 6,000 degrees.
Yeah, with 6,000% humidity, yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Nice.
So,
all right, Lance. Well, I appreciate it.
It was fun, and definitely looking forward to next year.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll see you soon, man.
Appreciate you, Lance.
Take care, guys.
See
Bye.
Oh man, can you for our next guest, can you just behave a little bit? You're out of hand. You're out of control, man. It's just That's crazy.
Is that better?
No, that's your easy way out, man. You just always take that road, and I want to see what happens behind the curtain. When you get all fired up, just
what?
I don't know. Sometimes you just take that off. I don't know. Anyway, can you first off talk about our other sponsor who is sponsoring our next guest tonight?
Oh, we're going to talk about my guy Kev with Tacky Bar? Nothing better, man. If you're trying to get a football in shape, game ready to go, he's from top to bottom, NFL down to the local flag league, taking care of everybody with his Tacky Bar. He's got stuff to do ball prep, do all sorts of different things. He's got apparel. He's got everything. So if you need him, hit Tacky Bar up. I'm sure the link's in the bio with our link tree because Ant does all that, and he would definitely not leave him off of it. What? I knew it was there. But with that being said, this guy, he's a 5-position player. He guarantees has got all of his footballs taken care of with Tacky Bar. Bring my man Devon in. With his camera facing the wrong way. Good grief.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey, man, don't give him a hard time, Ant. I'll handle this. This first time on a podcast? What's up, man?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, bro.
Doing well.
Oh, man. Are you able to turn your camera sideways?
If he didn't do it by now, he's obviously not going to do it.
Hold up.
See, now you got him off the camera. Good grief,
I'm sorry.
dude. You and all your rules. Vaughn, I'm sorry, bro. See, now he's sitting. Don't stress it, man. Ant looks for this is literally the equipment check of the podcast. This is terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry. My fault. Right. Hey, what's good, man? We know you've been begging to come on the show for a minute. You've been, posting, leaving comments, and usually we don't just bring people on just because they ask. But man, I think it's your time to come on the show and tell us about this past weekend. So I just want to tell you what the critics are saying. They're saying that you're the Kevin Durant of flag football.
Before we start smack talking, since you're not obviously going to do it, Devon, do me a favor, man. Before we start with any new guest, we try to open the floor. Tell us your superhero origin story. Tell us about how you got started in flag, all the good stuff like that.
Okay. How I got started. So I was like super against flag, like having played like college football and all that. Like locally, like guys would always be like, come out and play flag. I was like, man, I'm not playing that. Like that's not for me. And then I would come out here and there. Like I would just come out just to get some cardio and some exercise. And then like some guys that I got close with were trying to get me to play 9-man. And I was like, all right, I'll go play 9-man.
The real flag football.
Yeah, the real flag football, according to my man Deuce Dutch. So I actually started out playing 9-man. The first time I really traveled was, what was it? Orlando 22, the year of like the brawl. Like that was the first time I really like traveled to play flag. I was like, all right. And I played 9-man, and I mean, just being real, I cook. And then after that, Mike D was in my DMs and was like, yo, like, you trying to come to Philly and play? Come play with Code Red, come play with Main Event. So after that, Worlds, Nationals, whatever it was, and that was right when COVID hit, I went to Philly for a tournament to play with Mike and Code Red. And, I mean, the rest is just history from there, honestly. Then I started playing with Main Event for 8s, and I would play 5 contact with BGB, that's local, the local team here, Lamar's old team, and I would play with Main Event for 5s. So really, I was just started out as a contact guy, and then just started to migrate towards small ball or non-contact, I guess.
Yeah. So when did the switch happen as far as VA Elite and all of that getting put together?
So, when I started, I was close with Rock and Sam, but we didn't we didn't travel. Like I said, like the first time I traveled, I didn't play with them. I played 9-man. And then it was actually one time like during COVID, it was in 2020, but like October, we just put a 5 co-ed team, man, was like, let's try it. We literally just tried the style and we went to the tournament and won. And was like, oh. And then we came down to Camel City, Jacob. That's when we met you and Krista, and we came down there and won. And we was like, all right, this could be like a thing, like that we'll start to do. And that's how 5 co-ed came about, honestly. Like we just, cause we like during COVID, like we were always together, literally like every day. I was at Rock and Sam's house every day. And we were like super close, and like we didn't have a lot to do. We would go to the field and just work out and throw the football around. We were like, we should just start a team. And that was just, it was just all people, like all local, like our friends. And we just happened to be pretty good and won our first couple tournaments and was like, all right, we could actually might be able to do something with this.
Fair enough.
Yeah, well, go ahead, Jacob.
I remember that first Camel City tournament you came down. You played with Judah in that tournament as well.
Yeah, I played contact with Judah. Yep.
Now, were you just a hired hitman for that team then, or were you a regular with those guys?
Nah, so I like to stay low. Like especially when I first started, I would always try to play with like a local team.
Sure.
Like cause that's just me. I'm just like, man, this, especially at that point, like DMV, I feel like we ain't get a lot of love anyway. So I'm like, I know what we can do. So I'm gonna play with the guys. So I actually met them playing 5 contact against them. And then when BGB, our team kind of like fell out, we stopped playing. So they were like, all right, just come play with us. So that was kind of how that happened.
I got you.
You're not playing contact anymore, just because of old age, or what's the deal?
Jeez, dude. Hey, man, just so you know, Ant's always got the gun out, man. He'll fire strays.
Oh, I know. Nah, really, it was just kind of like a transition, honestly, like to small ball, non-contact stuff, especially co-ed, just because, like, I'm just big on, like, just my people. And it was like with main event, like, they would pay for whatever, like, they could fly me, yeah, they would do whatever, but, like, for me, like I said, it's all about, like, loyalty and my people, and Rock and Sam knows my people, that's my family, like, and our team is just super close-knit, and I actually was like, I would pay my own way to play, like go places. Cause like even when I would go to like tournaments with main event, like, yeah, it was cool, but like I would be in my room, like by myself chilling. Cause like, I'm not like, I mean, believe it or not, I'm actually like a super introvert unless it's like my people. And I just be to myself, and like those guys, like, yeah, we would see each other one tournament, but not the next. So I was never really like super close to anybody. So I was like, I'd rather just do stuff with my people where it's like, I'm actually going to be interacting with them while we out and like at the Airbnb and stuff, like go out to dinner and like have like meaningful conversations and do things like that. So
absolutely,
for me, it was just like the transition of just like wanting to do something that was with my people rather than just doing it just because.
Right. Not a business decision.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, I remember when I was playing eights and going against main event, it would always be whoever the biggest stars in flag football. They would be pulling anybody and flying them out. And just it was hard to compete against main event, but and wherever they traveled, they really didn't care about the expense.
Right. So.
Yeah. So like I said, speaking of ECN, we got some feedback going on real quick.
Yeah.
Try to get rid of this static. All right. I don't know. But anyway, speaking of ECN, what was the decision for you and Rock to play with ESS?
I mean, I'm very transparent. I just hit draw. I looked at the team list and was like, we wanted to play because told Rock, I was like, I'm not going out there just to play co-ed, like in the middle of nowhere. Like, like when we went to Fruitland one time ever, and it was years ago when we had the AFFL tournament, like the original AFFL tournament. That's the only time we've been to Fruitland. I was like, yo, I'm not going out there to play co-ed for the whole weekend, and that be it. So I was like, we either need to make a team or get on a team. And obviously like the number one position that you need if you're gonna make a team is a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And despite the fact that I hate playing quarterback. Like I hate it with a passion. Like I hate it. If I'm the quarterback, no, we're gonna find a different team. So and we were actually trying to put like a team of like local like DMV, but there were just some miscommunication. Just some things were just kind of miscommunicated. So I just hit Tronky and was like, yo, are y'all playing? They actually weren't going to play. And he was like, we signed up, but nobody's like actually done anything. We just signed up just in case because we go every year. And and I was like, all right, well, I don't know what we're gonna do, Rock. I'm not gonna go, or I don't know what's going on. And then Tronky hit me back literally like the next day and was like, actually, we are gonna go. He just put feelers out, asked the people who were gonna play, and we're gonna come up. And so that was kind of what it was. And because like I said, like it was miscommunication between like doing like the local DMV team, like because I would have obviously done that. That would have been my first choice for sure. But like I said, with the miscommunication, things kind of fell through. So it was like I want to go, so I just want to play. So I just reached out.
You guys had a pretty good squad, so.
Yeah. I didn't know who was on the team, to be honest. Like I said, when I hit Tronky, there was no team. They weren't coming anymore. And then he was like, all right, let me just see if we can get some people to come, and it just happened and it worked out. And we definitely had a solid team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy to think that Tronky had the option to throw to you, Rock, Pablo, or Rocket. There's only one football.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, like the perception may be different. Like I joke a lot, but like I'm definitely not a selfish player. I actually played more defense than I did offense. Like, I mean, I played offense obviously too, but I didn't come off the field on defense except when I was tired and I was like asking for a sub. Offensively, if like people walked on, I was like, yo, go ahead, somebody get it. But defense, we like, and even as far as that, like obviously, like in my like me, I play receiver, I prefer receiver. But like even like that was another thing with the whole main event when I switched. Like I was considered their lockdown DB. Like that was the thing, like that I was known as. But I'm like, nah, I want some offense. But like now, especially like you said earlier, getting old. Whoever, any way that I can contribute and help the team win, I'm cool with it. If I can play, if I can get 2 plays of offense a game, I'm good with that.
What do you say to people looking at what Supreme did a couple years ago at Worlds as like the beginning of the end of YTG? That you and Rock started the ball rolling where YTG wasn't invincible anymore. Do you agree with that?
I mean, to us, they were never invincible because the year before we lost to them by 1 point in double, triple overtime because we went for the win. So, I mean, to me, it's just like, again, not cockiness, but just confidence in our abilities. Like, anytime we line up out there, I expect to win. I don't care who on my team. Like, everybody always be saying, like, y'all got super teams, y'all do this. Like I always say, it can be me, Rock's kids, my son, and they friend. I expect to win. Like anytime I'm playing, I expect us to have a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like I said, I think it's just more so like having that confidence. A lot of people do look at these dudes as like they are like monsters or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at them the same. Like you wake up, put your pants on one leg at a time, just like me. Like for me, I'm never gonna back down from competition, Like, and I'm gonna be the person that's motivating my team, try and amp them up and get them confidence to have the same way. But for me, I don't care who it is. Like if I play basketball against LeBron 1-on-1, I expect to win, and if I don't, I'm mad. That's just who I am, and like my competitiveness for real.
All right.
So speaking of that, as the DB in a scenario, who's the receiver that you want to line up against that's going to give you the best challenge? but you know you're gonna beat?
That I know I'm a beat.
Yeah, because you just said you're beating LeBron.
Well, I expect to. Like, I'm gonna make it tough for whoever, but like for me, I mean, I think the people. I mean, obviously somebody like Rock that's like bigger than me, that can like box me out and like do the jump balls. Like that's gonna be a tougher matchup. But I feel like just with my ability, my quickness, like I mean, I can jump a little bit, even though I ain't the biggest. But like, I feel like I put myself in a position to be able to win. Now, if he gets to box me out, but I think the toughest like receiver for me, like in a situation like that, would be more of like a jump ball receiver, like a Rock, an Auto, or somebody like that. But as far as just like receivers that are pretty hard to cover, like Duke is his routes are crazy. Um, like Pablo, obviously fast, like Vel, like guys like that are super shifty and stuff like that. Flash can run some routes. But again, all these names I'm saying, I expect to win regardless. So
it's crazy. He didn't say my name, but that's fine.
and of course Jacob.
No, it's too late.
Be the toughest
Nah,
matchup.
it's too late. It's too late.
It's too late now. It's fine. It's fine. We'll talk to Rock about this later.
Oh man, so just to be clear, what you were born and raised in Virginia, or where'd you grow up?
I'm actually from DC. Like, I mean, I just let people say, but
Okay.
like, I'm actually from DC. Like, and I always tell people, I ain't talking about Hollywood. I ain't from by the White House. So like, and that's why that's part of my mentality too. Like, just growing up how I did and stuff. Like, I'm in Virginia now. Like, I moved to Virginia my senior year of high school, and I haven't left. So like when I went to college, I always came back. I lived in Virginia and did all of that. So it's not like, but just growing up, I'm from DC, but I'm just in Virginia now. So when people say that, it's just I go with it. Whatever it is, what it is, it don't matter.
Yeah. So and I've never been to DC, only been to Virginia driving through or going to tournaments and stuff, but what's the go-to food in the
Oh,
DC
here we
area?
go. Here we go.
You gotta go to a carryout. So ironically enough, like I mean, now as I'm older and have been exposed to it, like for y'all when you say carryout, you're like, oh, you're gonna go pick up some food like that you ordered and you're gonna carry it out. So when I first came to Virginia and somebody was talking about getting carryout, I was like, oh, y'all got chicken and fries. They were like, huh? Nah, we about to get some pizza. So in DC, a carryout is like an actual, like the name, it'd be like Good Hope carryout. So you got like fried chicken with mumbo sauce, ketchup, fries with like ketchup and mumbo sauce and all of that. That's a carryout, like on the corner somewhere, just a carryout. Like the little Chinese spot that got like chicken and fries, steak and cheese and all of that. Um, so that's the carryout for us, and that's what you get when you're in DC. Obviously, a
Okay.
carryout or some seafood. Like you got the Wolf down there in DC and stuff, but the old Wolf, at least the original joint, that was you really got seafood down there. Now it's all nice and fancy and everything else. But
Yeah.
you got the curry
Okay.
out and you got seafood.
Jacob, you know what you've been to a carryout before? Is that
No, but it
something you
sounds like
know?
I need to. I mean, DC's not that far of a trip for me.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm telling you, get some curry out. It'll change your life. Make sure you get that mumbo sauce on the chicken, mumbo sauce and ketchup on the fries. It'll change your life.
Mumbo sauce. Got it.
Okay, cool. And as far as like I know people like to group the DMV together, but let's talk about DC, Virginia. Where do you put that that area, that state in like the top, five of flag football states?
Like the DMV as a whole.
Well, no, because that's three states. You can't really combine three states. That's
Right.
kind of that's like. But if we're just talking Virginia, where does Virginia rank? Do you think that there's, are they in the top five, top 10? Where do they land? Oh, yeah, you muted yourself.
Oh my
There we go.
bad. Virginia alone, no. Just being 100% honest, like we got ballers. Like you mean we have me, Rock. I guess Ahmad is not even Virginia anymore. He lives in Maryland. But I mean, you have a few. Then you got like Tank who played with main event and stuff. But like you don't have a lot for real, honestly. And like especially like local, like FXA, like Northern Virginia. Like nah, you got like some mid like comp guys, rec guys, and stuff like that. Like, yeah, but nah, as a whole, nah, we definitely not top 5. Like, if we are able to collectively add the DMV, oh, without a doubt. Like we got hoopers across the DMV, but straight Virginia only, nah, we not top 5. we might be lucky to be top 10.
Okay. Yeah. I mean that's honest for sure. Speaking of like comp guys and everything like that, I noticed at ECN, there were a few teams that seemed like maybe they shouldn't be playing in rec. That were playing in rec. How do you feel like that as a player that you put yourself up pretty high in the top tier of players? How do you feel about seeing pro players or pro teams play in rec division?
I mean, I don't agree with it, but like at the same time, I mean, how people want to spend their money and do what they do, that's theirs. Like, I'm not somebody that's just gonna be like, oh, you shouldn't be playing. Like, I mean, because you might win. Like, if you win rec or something, you might have different players the next time, and so it might if you're not having the same exact team or whatever, it might be something going on like that we just don't know about. So like, I let people play wherever they at. Like me personally, I'm not playing there, but whatever somebody else doing, that's not my business. They paying their money to play what they want to play. Like, I mean, and again, it's like different people. Like, I'm going out there, like I said, I'm going to compete at whatever I'm doing. Some people out there just to have fun, and if that's what you out there do, just to have fun and win and say that you won in the rec division, more power to you. But I'd rather go out there and compete against the best than to go out there and be like, oh, I won against this trash. But that's just me.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And here on Clock Running, we're all about officials. So I wanna ask you, as far as rules in flag football, is there a specific rule that just drives you crazy, or you feel like always brings controversy on?
I mean, I've said this on some of your posts. I think the one thing for me that I hate is if you don't call a flag guard. Hold on, my bad, my dog is. If you don't call a flag guard because someone pulled the flag, like I think that's the worst thing because it's like, all right, if you do still throw the flag, now you losing yards from that spot and it's a loss of down, rather than it just being going to the next down being like you pulled the flag. So if it's a flag guard, I think it should be called, regardless if you pull the flag or not.
Almost like my flag pulling's better than your flag guard.
Exactly. So don't be rewarded for that because you trash at flag guard or I'm good at pulling the flag. Like go ahead
Here I
and use
am
that
putting
down
bullets in Devon's
and
gun.
take those yards off too.
Yeah.
So that's the one to me. Like I would say that's really like the only one that every time it happens, I'm just like, I don't care. The rest like is like whatever, but that one, there's literally that one that I'm just like, nah, I don't like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. No, that makes sense for sure. Final question for me. I don't know if Jacob has any questions for you, but I just want to know what your favorite midnight snack is.
Midnight snack, man.
You stole my question.
I'm 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 normally asleep at midnight for sure, but if I am at night, for real, probably just like some fruit snacks. Like I normally just like keep like some candy in the pantry. Not good, but yeah, just some fruit snacks, some golden Oreos. Golden Oreos probably number one actually.
All right, so we're gonna scale back to the fruit snacks for just a second. Welch's or Welch's or Scooby snacks?
Oh, Scooby snacks for sure.
Oh man.
In college, me and my roommate, our pantry, we didn't cook. Our pantry was filled with fruit snacks and gushers. And it was Scooby snack. That's what it was. It was Scooby snacks and gushers.
Okay.
That's the way to do it.
Jacob, any other questions?
That's all I got, man.
I got something though. I got something about these KD allegations.
Absolutely. Hey, man. It's crazy. It's crazy
Continue.
because Hey man, I heard you talk all about, you got your guys, you got your crew, you got, this is who I play with, and I was blown away to see ESS and y'all are wearing the jerseys. Man, that looked a little KD to me.
Well, it can't really be KD. We've only played even as Supreme, we've only played ESS 2 times.
Oh, okay.
And matter of fact, I beat Injured Reserve, which was ESS, in April. So it wasn't really KD because it's not like they beat us when it mattered and then I went and jumped ship. Nah, that's not the case. Like I said, for me, it was just about an opportunity to be able to play another format rather than going to Fruitland just to play co-ed and not have a men's team to play on.
So just to be clear from what I heard, you and Rock were paid by Tronky with all you can eat crab cakes for the weekend, and
hey man, no, I would not disclose anything. Nah. I plead the fifth.
Oh man! All right, that's a good John, man. That's a good John.
Devon, thank you for coming on, man. We really appreciate having you on the show. That's what he's trying to say.
Nah, I appreciate y'all having me, even though I had to ask and beg to be put on the show. It's cool. It's all good. I know. But hey, I'm glad. Hey, rock the mayor flag football though. Me, I'm low key. I be chilling. He going around doing all the stuff, so I get it.
I mean, hey man, at this point, I'm tired of Rock. I mean, I might.
Hey man, he on here every other week.
I know, man. We got we did it. We had to do the newlywed game with him and his wife. But I think at this point, from this point on, we're gonna have his wife on. We don't need him anymore.
Hey, yeah, she's our agent. So hey, anything that you need, go through her anyway.
Yeah, I gotta talk to her about what exactly what Tronky gave for both of you guys to play for ESS. That's wild.
Crab cakes. He's in the comments right now on IG talking about it. He gave crab cakes.
Is this something we're gonna see in the future? You guys playing with ESS, or this is a one-off?
I guess we'll see. Y'all gonna have to stay tuned.
Yes, sir. What's the next big tournament you guys are going to be playing at?
Ass Rock. hey, that's Batman. I'm Robin. When he say we gotta go somewhere, I'm like, hey, just let me know when and where. That's it.
Yes, sir. Cool. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you joining us tonight, and appreciate you begging to get on the show. And it was a good time, man. I appreciate you.
Nah, I appreciate y'all having me for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes,
we'll see you, man.
All right, man. Y'all be good.
Hey, man. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of how this ESS super team got created.
It's simple. It's crab cakes.
Yeah, that was it.
Crab cakes in Salisbury.
I will tell you this, man. I know you hate talking about this subject because it just continues to come up. But I couldn't find crab cakes on the one night that we went out to the Ocean City Boardwalk. There wasn't really a lot of options, so I ended up getting a cheesesteak.
Okay.
And I will say that cheesesteak was better than the cheesesteak in Philadelphia. Okay?
Well, that wasn't difficult to top.
So I just want us to continue to hold Ed accountable for the fact that he talked up this big game and all this stuff, man.
He's never gonna invite us back.
Bro, how many different states am I gonna find a cheesesteak better than the one place that he took us to?
Well, you only have 49, so unless we take Canada, and then that's 50, because then it would be 51. So I mean, you got options.
Did you say unless we take Canada? Are we invading Canada?
I don't know.
Oh man, do you think I feel like Greenland could cook up a real nice cheesesteak, man?
I mean, probably.
Yeah. Hey, so go ahead. I gotta hear it.
Go ahead.
I was trying to bring it on.
No, it's good. Let's go. It's gotta happen fluidly. It can't be forced.
I know. I thought I created an opportunity. And,
I mean, it was an okay one, but not great. Anyways.
Oh, whatever, man. You're just. Anyway, man, your perspective of ECN. Let me hear it, man. How was it for you?
No, it was a lot of fun. It was a great tournament. A lot like Lance said, the weather did great. It held out just long enough for us to be able to play because we were worried that it was going to rain. So really thankful for that. Like I said, you don't have a great tournament without great officials, and we had a really damn good crew that made this weekend that last weekend pretty seamless. So I'm really thankful for that. I'm really thankful that everybody had their A game on the whole time and locked in and got what we needed done. I'm really appreciative because it's just you bring guys from Ohio, from the DMV, from the Carolinas. I'm trying to think where else we had officials from. Pennsylvania. We had quite a few from there, and everybody worked together really well. So I'm very thankful for everybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I will get on my soapbox for a second, just as far as from my perspective, as a part time. I'm just a part timer, no big deal. But I was when I was officiating. Let's see, I did 5 rec, I did co-ed rec, and then did women's air it out. Those were the 3 formats I officiated. I will say this um, as far as just how people spoke to officials, I think across the board there was a lot of disrespect towards officials, and I think they got awarded a lot of penalty flags because of it. So that was that was different in comparison to I think I give Dallas and Texas a hard time a lot. San Antonio wasn't too big, too many unsportsmanlike. It wasn't that big of a deal as far as disrespect toward officials. But coming to East Coast Nationals, it was like across the board. Like every game, we were like dishing out 2 or 3 unsportsmanlike, and it was very much centered around how they were speaking to me and other people in the crew. So that's kind of my soapbox as far as like, hey, let's just remember that officials are human beings. It's not about us being in our feelings. That's like the immediate, line that gets thrown out. Oh, that ref's in his feelings now. It's not about that. It's about the fact that we are still human beings. We still do deserve to be treated with respect. And ultimately, hate to say it, but these tournaments don't happen without officials. So, you want us to be there. There it's I don't know. I don't know what brings it on, but I mean it's a small field. 15 yards is a big penalty. So
yep, absolutely.
But yeah, but other than that, I mean, you didn't have any big challenges that were anything that you had to go back to the drawing board about or anything like that.
Not really. Not really. I think, like I said, it was pretty seamless, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, again, I think also. Go ahead.
I was going to say, shout out to Mike and Craig, Krista, and Booth. The 5 of us, we held it. Natalie. We all held it down and just got it done.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Do you? I know that this was a tournament that had, still Eight's legacy is now it's being called.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's just the DMV area that's kind of keeping Eight's legacy going, or
no?
How do you feel about it?
You have 8 contact in the DMV. You've got it in Chicago. You've got it in Ohio. There's definitely pockets of it still around. North Carolina still has a few teams that play here and there. But yeah, they're still fighting to keep it going. And I think it'll still be around forever. It'll never completely die off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you always got the big guys that they want to be involved, and and I think just in general, I think there's the guys that look at when they leave their career of football, whatever that looks like, whether it's high school or college or anything like that. Ultimately, eights contact is always going to be the easier transition. Nines, eights contact.
Sure.
I mean, that matches up with tackles.
Yep. Even sevens,
So,
to an extent.
Yeah. Especially, I would say the new generations younger than us. So many of them have grown up now, doing passing leagues, spring ball, stuff like that. That like seven screen, kind of matches up with that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of seven screen, though, we got. I don't know if we got called out. I don't know if we got
Our
challenged.
opinion got asked.
I don't know if we're in a podcast battle now. Like I don't know.
Think so. Quit being so negative, dude. Somebody values our opinion, and they ask
okay.
for it. Quit being so.
You know what
get out of your feelings.
You know what I think's so cool about this little video? Shout out to Where's the Flag podcast. They're a new podcast out of Utah. They put the logo in their little clip. So I love seeing Jordan's angry face in another podcast.
He's not angry. He's smiling.
No, he's totally yelling. He's like, ugh.
Feelings. You and your feelings. Get out of your feelings, dude. Anyways.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. It's really important that we kind of get some feedback. They were talking about this. Now this was the NAIA championship game. Let me hold on. Oh my gosh.
Whoa. The sun will come out.
Oh wow. Okay, so the NAIA championship game, we had Ottawa, we had Kaiser. You and me definitely were talking about this game. Discussing clips when it happened. There was a lot of conversation about in the semis. I think there was a catch that was like, it was called out of bounds. Ultimately, I want to preface this conversation first and foremost saying any camera angle is not the angle of the officials on the field.
Yeah.
So to be clear, whenever you see a camera angle, just realize that is already taking it out of what happened at the moment of the play. So you're providing a perspective that was not given when the play happened. First and foremost. So talking about this specific play in the championship, essentially, it's a short pass. They're probably, I don't know, maybe on the 20-yard line or something like that. Wide receiver from Kaiser is running. Two defenders seem to kind of get their spot. That's maybe questionable. But before anything happens, there's another Ottawa player that comes in.
All right. Well, his camera just cut, so I don't know what happened. As he's talking about it, there was an Ottawa player that pulled a flag. The runner tried to split the gap, and as she, oh yeah, go ahead and interrupt me. That's fine. I was in the middle of explaining what happened, but go ahead. You keep going.
Oh, I went away.
Pop in and out whenever you want. Go ahead.
I went. Did you see me go away?
Yeah, it was just me on camera there for a second.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
You okay?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
About this after the show.
Yeah, sure. So, okay. So go ahead. Explain the play and what happened from your perspective.
All right. So, it'd be great if we could show it. So runner has the ball. She's running. She's about 5 yards from the goal line. She tries to advance. You got two defenders, like you said. I think they got their place. I was fine with where they were. They got to their place, waiting to pull the flag. Right before the runner tries to split the defenders, another defender comes in from behind and pulls the flag. The runner then, as her flag's pulled, jumps in between, tries to jump in between the defenders. A lot of contact. Runner goes to the ground. There was no penalty called on the play. Now, the argument is, should there have been a foul? And the concern from the players was, when is enough contact going to be warranted to start calling penalties, or is somebody going to get hurt?
Yeah.
That's the perspective I took away from it, that what they were looking for, what kind of response they were trying to ask for.
Yeah, and so I will say self-admittedly, I am not completely familiar with the NAIA rulebook to know exactly the wording, but I do know where it kind of lands as far as rule books in flag football. This is 7 screens, so the screen aspect of it adds a little bit of like gray areas there, but downfield stuff, contact should look, very similar to, fives and other things like that. To be very clear though, this is not the IFAF rulebook. So, so if we look at, the big spectrum of flag football, if we're talking about nines, contact is the, most egregious contact there is. And we've got IFAF, that is the least amount of contact allowed. Fives, sevens, all of those are gonna, that probably fall somewhere in the middle, maybe,
Sure.
Farther over, closer to IFAF kind of deal. So in IFAF, that might have actually gotten a penalty flag, because they let a play completely finish, as far as contact happening.
Sure.
So and also jumping is not legal in IFAF. So there would have probably been 1 or 2 flags from that on the offense for jumping and going into the player that, from both of our perspectives, that defender was set.
Yep.
And was attempting to pull the flag. So even though the flag was pulled in IFAF, there might have been a penalty, for illegal contact on the offense for jumping. But from my perspective, as far as NAIA goes, as far as 7 screen goes, once the flag was pulled, there's no penalty to talk about.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if there's even. I don't think there's any way that you can really have an argument to say that the defenders were causing contact, because I just don't see that.
No. I the more I look at the play, I watched it probably 5 or 6 times. See, initially, I didn't realize that the runner got her flag pulled.
Yeah, same.
And Mr. Ninja Eyes over here is the one who pointed it out to me. And as soon as you said that, I went, "Oh yeah, well that makes perfect sense."
Yeah.
But I do agree with the fact that if a player's completing a run, or if they're completing a process, that they should be penalized all the way through that process. So looking at how that runner was advancing, and her goal was to split the defenders, and she definitely went and made a lot of contact with both of those. I got offensive contact, and I'd probably call it even though the flag was pulled, because I mean you're kind of to the ladies' points that on Where's the Flag podcast, somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
If let's say that flag didn't get pulled, what do we got? Is there a foul?
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely. And I mean, I do think it's funny because when I first saw that play, the uproar, which I think that like a lot of people on social media want Ottawa to be, they want them to be officiated differently than they're currently being officiated. Sometimes teams are just amazing. It's something that I've always looked at as far as like, when you've got an experienced team, and don't get me wrong, not to say Kaiser is inexperienced, but I'm speaking in general. You have one experienced team and an inexperienced team. The inexperienced team is going to get more penalty flags.
Absolutely.
And it's not because the officials are like, oh, we want this team to win. Oh, we know this team. No, it's because the experienced team understands the game better. And so they know
without issues.
Exactly. And so I think that Ottawa now has won 5 championships. Their program has been built up longer.
Sure.
They've been around longer. So some of these other colleges that are now getting into NAIA, building up their programs, they don't have as much experience. And so they are going to encounter situations where it's going to look like, oh, the officials are, giving them the calls and this and that. No, Ottawa's just executing it better. So in this scenario, those defenders did exactly what they were supposed to do. And so I don't think that it was a situation where, because social media wanted that. They wanted a penalty on the defender that was set, saying basically, she caused this girl that was jumping to get hurt.
Yeah.
Even though we want to get away from when a player is dipping or jumping, that they can get completely taken out. We don't want those things happening. But when you jump, you are putting yourself at a greater risk.
Sure, and I do understand that. Like when you complete those actions, you are putting yourself at risk. But on the flip side, you're also opening yourself up to a foul that can happen, that can be on you more so than on another player. Because in my mind, I still look at that. Both defenders are set. They're waiting for her. They're doing the right thing. They're doing everything that they're taught correctly. The runner comes in and tries to. I mean, it's cut and dry for me as far as that plays go. As far as that play goes.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I hear what you're saying as far as in that scenario, it probably makes a lot of sense to actually just to call an illegal contact on the offense as well, because it happens so quick. The only reason I was able to throw, to see that the flag was pulled was in watching it multiple times. And again, we are provided different camera angles that the official was not provided. So maybe from her perspective, she saw that flag get pulled, and she's like, incomplete. They're short. It was on a conversion that play was. So yeah. So hey, no, tries no good. We're moving forward. Also, pace of play and things like that moving in, because an illegal contact on the offense in that isn't going to change, the result of the play.
Right.
So so that might have been part of it as well, in not throwing a flag.
Sure, and I mean, at that collegiate level, things are much higher. We're just a couple of rec refs anyway, so I mean, just I'm sure there was a better explanation that we wouldn't get, we wouldn't understand at our low level. Anyways,
so hopefully, where's the flag? I apologize, for some reason I cut out mid explanation, and but hopefully, we can piece together some clips for you guys to help explain that. We are here for not only your podcast, but any podcast out there that want a better explanation. This is what we do. Me and Jacob are nerds about this kind of thing. We talk about rules probably every single day. I know I'm constantly bugging Jacob about different rules and explanations, and sometimes I forget things, and I'm like, well, what about this? And, wouldn't this make sense? So that's what we're here for. We love to talk about that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I will try really hard. We don't have a producer or anything, but I will try really hard to get media together with the clip and us talking and
We are the
see how that works.
producers. Yeah, we'll have to make it work. Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. we did have LDL on the show tonight, huh?
Huh?
We did have LDL on the show tonight.
We had
That
good
was
old
cool.
LDL on the show.
So, that being said, man, ECM was great. It was a great opportunity. I was able to bring, my 3 kids, and it was fun to again see Katura just in different situations. She was officiating with Spence. She officiated with Lance and TJ, and so she's continuing to grow as an official, and I'm excited to see that. And then I had the opportunity to work with Justin, who I haven't worked with before. He did a great job, so shout out to Justin. It's so important on a 2-man crew to be able to just you say, I know they're locked in, I'm locked in, and we're gonna manage the field best as we can. Of course, there's blind spots. Anytime a player is like, why aren't you seeing the hooks in the middle of the field? Well, because that neither one of us can see that. I mean, it's just it's just gonna
Right.
it's just gonna happen.
Our eyes
So,
can't do this.
yeah, exactly. I'm looking at the quarterback. My eye cannot go over here. Even if we try. And then with women's aired out, we had the all-star crew. I was with Smokey Joe and Robert Baker, and man, North Carolina, y'all are top tier as far as officials, and they killed it. I did have some fun with Joe because I challenged both of them that, hey, if I see an illegal equipment and it was a player that was in either one of your guys' zones, then you guys owe 10 push-ups. And and definitely somebody was paying up on push-ups. So
dang, savage.
Yeah.
Savage.
Yeah. So hey, man, you got to make it fun, right? Got to add a little bit, and it's a good way to just keep your eyes on those things. But I will say, in general, I do think that the tide is kind of finally turning as far as equipment issues is going. I think we, as a crew, the entire crew with officials, we've been hammering players. And I think they're finally figuring out that they have to wear flags the right way.
Wait till the draft tournament.
What?
just wait till the draft tournament. None of them were right.
That's fine. I'll just watch all the other refs do push-ups all day. That's cool with me.
Oh, jeez, savage.
Oh man, but anyway, what a great show we had tonight. I appreciate Devon and Lance coming on, and I don't know if we've been live on Instagram and Facebook.
We have.
Oh, okay, cool.
I've been keeping up on IG. That's the important one. I haven't looked at YouTube. I haven't looked at Facebook, but we've been live on IG. So appreciate everybody who's been in the comments talking. Appreciate all the kind words and everything like that. But yeah, we've been, people have been watching.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, at least I figured something out.
A year and a half, we figured it out.
68 episodes later,
68 Wait, are we at 68 now?
I think this is this is episode 17, and I think didn't we end season 1 at 50?
Did we?
So
I can't remember.
I think so, something like that, or maybe we started season 2 of it. I don't know. So I think we are in the 66, 67 range, something like that. So,
do you think?
Yeah, go on.
Do you think? You think we could be at 10,000 followers by our 100th episode?
This past month we almost got 400 new followers. So if we stay at that rate, what is that? 1,000 every couple months, and we're at 4,200 right now.
We're only at 4,200. How do we get 400 and we're only at 4,200? We just did a thing at 4,000. How many people
and that was like middle of the month that we did that. The last 30 days, I mean. Sorry, not like the month of June. The last 30 days. So it's yeah. I mean, I don't know if we get.
Anyways,
Anyways, I don't know 10 because we gotta get 5,500 divided by what is that? I think that's a little bit of time. Still, we gotta kick up our followers.
If we get to 10,000 followers on IG by the time we hit 100 episodes, I think our 100th episode we should do something big.
I mean, I agree completely.
I think we should do something big. I don't know what it is yet, but I think we should do something big.
Can we get Donald Trump on the show? Is that possible?
Listen, okay. I will personally make an appearance. I'll tell you what, this is what we'll do. If we're at 10,000 followers by our 100th episode, I will do the 100th episode dressed. I'll do the orange. I'll get the full Donald Trump suit and do the whole episode as Donald Trump.
Oh man, this is a challenge.
Huge.
This is crazy. We have to make this happen. So everyone, listen up.
That's what we'll do.
Hit that follow button. Hit that share button. Let's make that happen. We got to see Jacob dressed up in the full. Are we talking like?
Dude, I will get I will make my face and my hands orange for this. I will be like the truest tomato man for this.
Oh, that's amazing.
Tomato, orange man. Not tomato. Tomatoes are red.
Steve Tambo from Tambo Time said just do it next week. Speaking of that, next week we're going to be on another podcast, Tambo Time, out of where are they out of? New England? I'm not good with geography.
They're out of Boston or I think New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, part of New England though, right? Yep. Isn't that part of New England? Yeah. So we're going to be on that show next Tuesday. What's up?
Nothing.
Okay. Hey man, I drove through 3 different states this past weekend, and it's crazy to me. Did you realize how long Maryland is?
Yeah.
It's just okay. Well, I never realized that. Sorry.
Okay, well, it's okay.
I'm not an expert. Okay, but anyway,
state.
Yeah, it is an oddly shaped state. Bro, can we talk about the fact that we're now on Shopify? That's new.
Yeah, we're on Shopify. Be sweet if we weren't under construction, but we are. Hey, so we're getting there.
Wait, are we under construction? Does it say?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you were so cool for a second. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pop your balloon. I'm sorry, man.
It's fine. I didn't because I set things up and then I can't see a lot of those things because I'm on the what is it called? I'm in the back. I don't want to say back door because that's.
Hey yo, we're doing the back door, man.
Backstage. I don't. What do you? There's something.
You're doing the admin stuff. You don't see the actual final product. Yeah, it's still under construction. Okay. Hey, so make sure you guys check us out on Shopify. Check us out. Check our link tree out. We're gonna have all of our merch on there. Everything's looking really good. We got a couple new things that are gonna come out here soon. We still got the regular stuff. Do me a favor though. If you have our merch, get some pictures in it. Tag us in the pictures with you wearing our merch. If you're wearing our ref gear while you're working, take a pic. If you got a super dope sticker that come with pretty much every order, put a picture of it. If you got one of these dope hoodies with Jordan's ugly mug on it, put it in the picture. If your computer background, like on my secondary computer, is of Jordan, it's a little blurry because I got the blurry setting on. Get a picture of it. Just do what you can. Get pictures of stuff. Tag us in them. We love them. We love to see it. We love to see the support. we got the shirts, we got the hoodies, we got the joggers. TJ was our patient zero with the joggers. Said he loved them. Super comfortable. Just check all that stuff out. We got all sorts of stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm excited about the shorts. And they're gonna have zipper pockets for players that want to rock clocks running on the field. We got some cool, just like one-off. We got a men's mental health shirt for the month of June. We got that. We got some kind of spin off of brand logos that we are doing some goofy stuff of. But I will tell you this: the ref gear is nice. I like the fit of it. It's not too heavy or anything like that. It's got the zipper. We got backpacks. We're gonna, we're just trying some new stuff. But if the Shopify remains under construction for a bit, just DM the Instagram. We will make it happen. We got, Jacob set up this crazy thing. I think it's called Excel spreadsheet. Is that what it is?
Anyway, just hit us up. We'll get your stuff ordered. I think we're getting ready to put another order in this week. We'll get you taken care of. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, man, I guess we'll be in New Hampshire next Tuesday. So I'll see you there. And then next weekend we're headed to Dolly World.
Yeah, we're headed to Gatlinburg.
Okay.
Yeah, so next weekend we'll be in Gatlinburg. We're going to be working the Smoky Mountain Gauntlet. That's going to be fun with Rocky Top Sports World. It's going to be their first time having a tournament. It's going to be a youth tournament. It's going to be great. I'm pretty excited. These guys are really excited. They got a good group. Then they got a good amount of teams. So it should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool, man. As always, Jacob, I appreciate you for all that you do for this show, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds good. I'll see you later, brother.